See how it's all fenced off? What are the police scared about? That's really what I want to know. There's a piggy right there. Hey, little piggy. Zoom in on him. Is it a male or female? Let's see. BAE 543. Yep, there we go. That's how that works. I'm going to talk to a homeowner. How you doing? Can I please speak to a sergeant, please?
Yeah, who are you?
Citizen of the United States government. I need to speak to someone regarding an incident.
Like, did you call in?
Huh?
Did you call the station?
I've already spoke to, and they said they spoke to me and they haven't. Can you please just do your job and get me a supervisor?
So I need to say who you're talking to. Can you just give me a first name?
Yeah, Joe.
Okay, perfect. Have a seat and we'll be able to get you.
Excellent. So make sure you guys go to our community advisory groups. That was the woman who actually hung up on me earlier, just to let you guys know. We'll post that recording later. Remember, 418.5 is a state policy. Oh yeah, everything's for you, Reginald. No, I'm stupid. Actually, it's to create an environment where people can work together and feel safe. That's the problem. The problem we deal with is when these officers violate, your laws and rights and policies that's put there to protect you, and they think it's a joke, and it's not. Actually, policies are written for employees to help for the citizens. Those policies are put there supposed to be to protect the person, but they're actually not. I'm definitely live. I love being live. And in fact, Mr. Good Citizen, just to let you know, the state of Colorado created a 418 policy that says that we are legally allowed to not only record the police officers, we are also legally, 418.5 says that if I ask for a supervisor, the supervisor is required to arrive and they're supposed to call the supervisor. So either way, it's failing. And then for when they actually say, thanks for the call, we'll respond to you, then after a few hours it says, oh, we responded and we spoke to the person. But that's why I carry a body cam, because then I can show that at no point was anything initiated. All my calls are recorded, and it's all for that purpose. And then when this person at the front desk who violated my rights by hanging up on me and then turning off the ability for me to call, was very toxic. We're gonna call her Barbie violate my rights. Violation rights Barbie. That's it. So currently, Lilith, we're at the District 1 substation, and we're currently waiting for a supervisor to come out and to us, because yesterday 4 police officers stopped us from entering our facility where we live because they were attempting to investigate a crime. And the thing of it is you have no right, first off, you have no right to privacy, and second, you can't stop me from entering where I live and where I pay rent, if that makes sense. And so, oh, there's a couple of trucks with flags. Hopefully they're coming in here too. Okay, yeah. Work hard, work smart, and treat people right. Look at this, you guys, right here. It says work hard, work smart, and treat people right, but they don't know how to treat people right. Did they say when they were going to come out? So there was a sergeant behind the desk. Here he comes right here.
How you doing today?
How you doing?
All right, my name is Sergeant Worship with the Denver Police Department.
Okay.
Help you today.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why I called and asked for a supervisor, and the sergeant, I got a text message saying that you actually spoke with me, but nobody actually spoke with me. I record all of my calls, and when I called this morning, I have it on the recording that whoever answered this phone call, they told me that they're not going to transfer me to a supervisor, which is actually illegal. 418.5 of the policy of the state of Colorado states that if I ask for a supervisor, it's supposed to come. What happened yesterday is I'm mentally disabled, and your officers were over here, and they stopped me from entering my apartment complex under the pretenses that they were investigating a crime, even though you have no right to privacy in public. When I called and made a complaint yesterday, the first time I called, it said that someone had spoke with me. Nobody spoke with me, and I had to call back. Then I finally got someone, and that sergeant was unaware of that 418 policy of the state of Colorado. So I'm frustrated that I'm trying to inform this and inform you guys of these matters, because we're definitely supposed to treat people right, and the fact that I'm mentally disabled and that I could not go into my apartment was very disrespectful. And the fact that they attempted to make me go back more than 10 foot, Colorado State Supreme Court just paid out $41,000. The city and county of Denver just paid out $41,000 because people like that and people like them don't know the law. If they work here, even if they're not an officer, they have to follow the rules and the laws, because I can sue for not doing that. And then when I called back a second time, that nice person at the front desk, which I'm gonna put that recording on YouTube later, she actually hung up on me after I asked for her supervisor. And then when I tried to call back 3 times, it says, oh, we're closed right now. So that's very overwhelming and frustrating. Does that make sense, sir?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So I wasn't the one who received any sort of notification.
Can you, I want to figure out who was the one who said.
That you've called.
Okay.
Right? And our clerk here did inform the sergeants that you had called.
And then, so that's the second time. That's the second time.
Okay.
I want to figure out who said that the first time.
I don't know if you had called into 911, 311.
I did your non-emergency.
And I understand a lot of times we go through.
But when I call District 1, the actual phone number, when I call District 1 and I speak to the woman at the front desk who has the same voice, you can tell, okay? My point is this: I need to figure out which sergeant today and yesterday said they spoke with me, because there's 2 sergeants in the last 2 days who said they did their job and did not do their job, which is unlawful activity. If you push in a button on the computer and say you interacted with me and you did not interact with me, that is lying. That means you're stealing hours from our taxpayers because you're saying you're doing a job that you're not doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So again, I don't know that any sergeant reached out and spoke to you. I don't know where you're getting the information that they said they had spoken to you.
I can show you on the text message.
I'm not gonna debate it with you.
So how can I do a FOIL request to show who did that? I want to get a FOIL request
I have
going.
nothing to do with FOIA requests.
I'm asking how to do that. You don't know how to do that?
I would go through Google.
Go through Google?
Figure out what Colorado has as far as FOIA requests for the city and county of Denver. You can reach out to the city and county of Denver for those.
Do you know what 418.5 is? Do you know what the policy 418 is?
No.
I urge you to look into it and Google it. You can actually go to Colorado Department of Revenue, okay? And you can see that this is a state policy. And if you guys don't know the policy, and then you can't follow the rules, which means you're breaking your obligation to the city and county. And this is me telling you this because tomorrow when I contact my attorney and I take all this information and I sue the city and county of Denver, and then it's all on everybody's jackets because nobody can just do their job properly. See, I follow the law. I use my blinkers. I wear my seatbelt. I don't break the law. But you guys can't break the law just because you have a badge. Just because that woman back there thinks she has eliteness because she works for you guys, you can't do that. It's illegal. Okay? You work for us. We are the taxpayers. You get private and state and federal funding, and you're going to lose it because you can't do this to people.
And I don't know if I got your name.
My first name is Joe. It's nice to meet you.
Joe, nice to meet you.
You're live on YouTube, so everything you're doing really makes you look bad. You hesitating to shake my hand. Aren't we supposed to treat people right?
Just a little unthoughtful.
Okay.
So listen, Joe, I'm not going to debate law with you or the civil or the legal aspects of what you're talking about, okay? As far as my role here, you have to speak with a supervisor.
Regarding these incidences, and you have to make a report on this
Is there
because...
a specific, I know you had mentioned that you were stopped outside of your apartment. Do you happen to have a case number? Or
No, they wouldn't give me a case number. Your officers, you can go on my YouTube because it was live on YouTube.
Before we get to that, if you don't have a case number, I understand that. What day did this occur?
Yesterday, about 3:45 in the afternoon. One of your corporals and 3 of your officers arrived to 4858, I think it is, or 4585. I'm sorry, I have dyslexia. Right here of Shoshone, there was an incident. And
Is that in the approximate area of your address? You said you were going.
yeah. That is the main entrance to the door to the apartment complex.
4585 Shoshone?
I think so.
Okay. At about 3 p.m. you said?
About 3:40, 3:30.
And you said you were going into your apartment and you were stopped by a couple of officers?
So I get out of my car because police officers and people break the law. When I get out of my car and I see police cars, I immediately turn on my YouTube because you need to be held accountable just like me. If you can pull me over, I can pull you over. That's how this works. And so I turned on my camera and I came out and I'm doing this, walking towards there to protect myself. That's why I do this. And one of your officers got out of his car and says, you need to step back, even though I was already 10 foot back. So your officer didn't know that you guys just made that $41,000 payout because of retaliation, because Denver police don't like to be recorded. Not all, but just some. So at that point, I informed him of the laws and how he needs to know the laws. I was told by an officer at one point, my failure to know the law is not my responsibility. I have to know the law and you have to uphold the law. But how are you able to make sure I uphold the law if you don't know the law? That's my concern. My concern is you guys don't know what you're doing, and then you guys go out and you put these things out here. And the problem is I don't want to defund the police, but I want to educate you better. The CIT officer did not utilize his training yesterday, okay? And he admitted that he was CIT trained. So how are you to be trained but not utilize that training and then look at me like I'm the bad guy when I become manic because you're not doing your job right, okay? So you guys need to know the law if I have to know the law. I went and studied it after an officer told me because the cop says, that's wrong, you can't do that. And I said, I didn't know that was wrong. I was 16 at the time. And he says, your failure to know the law is not my responsibility. So you know what? You guys, that's what happens is when one cop does something wrong, it's bad for all of you. So now I go through and I make sure you uphold the law. If you don't use your blinker, I have a dash cam. I'll follow you until you pull over and you get out and pull your gun on me. It'll be live on YouTube, and then you'll be assessed and made fun of just like everybody else, because I get more than 18,000 views on my YouTube because I'm tired of this, dude. I'm tired. If I'm sitting in the street and I'm blocking the street and I'm talking to my friend and I get pulled over, then so should you. You guys need to park properly. You need to follow the law if you want us to follow the law. Lead by example, okay? That's what this is. This is about us working together as a community. Because the problem is you're failing not only our community, but you're failing yourselves. And that's the truth.
So Joe, a lot of what you're talking about is
It's not above your pay grade. The problem is it's got to start with you. It's got to start with her.
It's above pay grade, but understand I have a fairly specific role here. Okay.
To make sure your officers do their job properly, right?
As far as a FOIA request,
How many District 1 substations is there, and where's the actual District 1 station at?
We are the only District 1 station in Denver that I'm aware of.
Okay. Well, just to let you know, I want to make a complaint on this front desk person, because the fact that she hung up on me and told me I don't transfer people is actually wrong. If I call and ask for a supervisor and she hangs up on me, that's wrong. So right now, since you're here and you're the boss here, I want to make a complaint on her too.
Did she hang up on you, or
Yep.
did she tell you that she was going to reach out to a
Nope.
supervisor who'd call you back?
Nope.
Okay.
She hung up on me.
Do you remember what she told you exactly?
Yeah, she says, I don't transfer people. And I says, you need to know the law and you need to know the rules. She says, what's your name? And I said, concerned citizen of the United States government, because I don't have to identify. As a concerned citizen, if I need a supervisor, it is her job to give me a supervisor and not get mad at me. She has to listen and she has to do her job, because that made me more manic. And then when she made it to where when I called back on my call recordings, it says, we're closed from blah, blah, blah till 6 a.m. Dude, it was 9 a.m., bro, and she was hanging. That's not right. That's not respectful. And that's the reason, that's the problem with this society. You got to do your job.
So Joe, let me ask you, was it hanging up on you, or were you just getting hung up in the phone tree?
No, she hung up. She was mad at me because
she... stack of calls.
Bro.
Hold on. If there's a stack of calls in our queue, right, it rings until you get either selected.
We were talking and she clicked. We were talking and she clicked. So we're on the phone and the phone tree, someone else calls in and it's just going to hang up on me. I want to clarify too. I'm asking you a question. If there's another call coming in, is your program going to hang up on me? If I'm talking to your front desk person and somebody else calls in. Okay, so she intentionally hung up on me.
How many times did
that was the first time, and then I called 3 times after that trying to get someone, and it would not allow me to go through. And those calls will also be on YouTube. And the job properly, then she shouldn't be here. She shouldn't be getting paid by the taxpayers to violate state and federal policies.
When did you make your first phone call?
When I'll have to get off of here to show you, but it was around 9 o'clock this morning.
Okay. And when did you make your last phone call?
Probably around 9:10, 9:15, maybe earlier than that.
And it was only the first phone call that you said you were able to get through?
Yep. And then after she hung up on me intentionally because she was not going to transfer me to anybody, which is word for word what she said. And then she got mad because she didn't like it and she hung up, which is failure to do her job. Is she actually an officer, or is she just a city official? A city employee. Okay, I need her badge number because I'm going to contact Internal Affairs as well.
Okay.
So I need her to identify.
Would you like me to generate that complaint, or
Yeah.
would you like to go through
I would like you to generate it, but I would also like a card or her ID information because we interacted and she failed to do her job properly. Violations rights,
Were
Barbie.
all calls through the front desk, no calls to 911?
That's correct. That's correct. I went to District 1 and I called that number directly from the website.
So I'll tell you now, if I generate a complaint, they're going to ask for basic contact
Yeah,
information for you?
yeah. My first name is Joe.
Yeah.
And
Louis, I'm assuming?
yeah. And give me a second. I'll give you my phone number. Let me see if I can mute this. I don't have to give that.
Okay. Do you have an address they can reach out to?
I can give you an email address.
Sure.
We the people police at gmail.com.
No funky spelling, no
Nope.
letters, numbers,
Nope.
anything?
Nope. Very, very blunt and to the point, because I want to make sure everybody gets our contact information, and because the point is this: at the end of the day, there's a lot of lives lost, not only officers but civilians, due to negligence, due to non-due diligence of our just human rights, policies, procedures, and laws. Policies and procedures that Denver city or state make can't violate federal policies, procedures. Okay, you go on to Colorado. I'm gonna go off here, guys. I'm gonna actually and show him this website so he can actually see it. Bear with me 1 minute. Okay, I'm gonna stop streaming, and I'm gonna show you, because I